All right, this is Stephen Vitt yet again, reporting on news related to Chillicothe, Ohio. And here's another old building I want to show you. This is the Mary Worthington Macomb House. This was built in the late 1700s, and as you can tell, it's a very old building. It's on National Register of Historic Places. So no matter what, it's going to stay here. It's going to be standing. So I just want to show you around for just 1 minute here. I don't have much time here, so I just have to show you real fast. Yeah, you see here the building, all the unique features, the double chimney stacks. Obviously it's boarded up because no one's occupying it. So this is just a little snippet of what you can expect when you explore like the really vintage parts of Chillicothe, Ohio. And that's the really unique parts of Chillicothe, Ohio. Unfortunately, it hasn't been kept up, with all the grass and lawn maintenance and stuff like that, but hopefully eventually we'll get something nice going on here. It'd be nice to really spruce up this place again. So yes, the Mary Worthington Macomb House. I'll explain more about it later when I get back home, but I just want to show you what we got here, and also I'll provide a few more pictures. Take care.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to STV Castle, and welcome back to this newly confirmed ongoing series about Chillicothe, Ohio. Just talking in depth about it, this town that I do business in. And what you saw in the beginning of this video was a little clip of the Mary Worthington Macomb House. And I just wanted to do that because I wanted to give you guys another another look into the rich history of Chillicothe, Ohio. The once really good parts about the history. And as I'm checking out the Wikipedia article about this house, it says here at the very end, by the early 21st century, the house had deteriorated greatly. With the proposal of an influx of money from the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, applications were made for stimulus dollars to restore the house, and a complete restoration was estimated to cost approximately $500,000, 500,000. So I want to point that out because this is another part of the problem that goes on with the town of Chillicothe, Ohio. When they get something like this, when they get stimulus dollars to try to renovate and restore buildings like this, the Mary Worthington Macomb House, it's not always a guarantee that they're going to do it. And in many cases, they don't. They don't restore things. And as you will see in the pictures that I provide here in this video, it has fallen into great disrepair, this house, and it's very sad because it's very historical. It was built and established in 1815. It was very significant. It played a really big part in history of Ohio, and really for me to see that this place has just, for lack of a better term, gone to crap. It's really, it can be really disheartening. It hasn't been kept up well with the grass, as I mentioned, and everything's just boarded up. The windows are exposed. It's been damaged on the roof. So many things going on with it that's not right. And I'm really hoping that eventually the city of Chillicothe will wake up and start doing something with this house, something beneficial and good. And I just really want that to dovetail into more of a discussion about Chillicothe, um, a continuation, if you will, of what I mentioned in the last video about Chillicothe, Ohio. Um, the foundation of this city. I mentioned it in the first video, but I'm going to mention it in more depth here. The foundation of the city is not there. I can tell you right now, for everyone watching this video, the foundation of Chillicothe is not there. And it's certainly not a good foundation. I have to ask about the foundation of Chillicothe, Ohio. What is it? What's it about? Where is it? Um, is that foundation strong? You know, when you ask city and Ross County leaders, so called leaders, about what the foundation of Chillicothe is, they can't give you a straight answer. They'll give you the runaround. They'll give you bits and pieces of things. They'll give you like factoids and things like that, but they won't give you a straight up answer as to what the foundation is. You look around you, and when you go into Chillicothe, it's very downtrodden, like I said. Many empty buildings that should not be empty. They could be occupied by people, whether for residences or for businesses, and nothing's being done to it. Either people can't afford to acquire those buildings or they don't want to. Either way, it's not right. You know, I also have to ask, what's the culture? What is really the culture in Chillicothe? What is the identity? And supposed leaders of this area, they always use that excuse of, oh, we're building a culture with the restaurants and the car dealerships, which I'm not going to go into again because I've already done that. But they always use that as an excuse. They're always stacking things on top of each other and expecting it to work. And they're expecting people in this city to just deal with it. And there's going to come a point in time in the future, I believe, where it can't be tolerated anymore. And I'm hoping people in Chillicothe and Ross County will wake up to that fact. You can't keep stacking things on top of each other and expect it to just work. I mean, leadership, so called, they've done it for decades now and it hasn't worked. People are losing their jobs, they're not getting jobs, they're not getting good jobs. And some people are being evicted from their houses, they're being homeless. And that is another topic I want to talk about: homelessness. That's an issue in Chillicothe. It's become an issue in Chillicothe in recent years. There's no help. There's especially no help for these people. I mean, these people in Chillicothe that are homeless, you see them, you know, roaming around the streets with shopping carts or sleeping inside tents. You know the whole thing. And for people watch this video that are in areas that have homelessness, and specifically maybe the Bay Area, California, maybe talking to you guys too, you know what I'm talking about. Most of these homeless people, I would not say all of them, but most of them do drugs. They resort to crime, they do drugs, they give up. They give up on life, basically. They don't know what else to do. So you see them on the streets, you see them under the bridge in Chillicothe, and they're begging for help, they're begging for money. They try to get shelter, but they can't find it. It's a big problem. And it's a big problem that I don't expect to see addressed by this so called leadership. I'm just being honest. And I also wish that people in Chillicothe would take better care of the disabled, whether it's elderly people going through dementia or Alzheimer's or just disabled people in general. Like this one guy I tried to help recently. I went to a grocery store to, you know, get groceries. And there was this disabled guy in a wheelchair. This guy named Robert, I'm only going to say his first name, Robert. He was asking for help. He needed a ride home, and nobody was giving him that help. He was going through the entire grocery store, seemingly wanting to do something, and he needed help, and he wasn't getting it. And when I exit the grocery store, I see this guy, Robert, and he asked me for help, and I tried to call on my cell phone on his behalf, try to get him a ride home, and I wasn't able to get through. So tell me why that is, that we can't get bus rides for the disabled, especially in this area in Chillicothe. Talk about kicking people when they're down. And this area also has a failing healthcare system. I read a recent article online that states that the Adena healthcare system, the hospital, it lost already this year, 2023. It has lost a whopping $8 million uh, in potential revenue. They've lost $8 million, and a big part of that is because of neglect. Many of the doctors and nurses in Adena, not all of them, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them, they neglect their responsibilities. They don't care. They pass the buck. They want to make extra money for themselves, and they don't want to take out time to help people when they really need it. It's like they'll schedule things way out in advance, expecting patients to wait 4, 5, or 6 months just to get the health care that they need. It's not right. It's inconsistent, it's neglectful, and I believe it's disrespectful. That's just how I feel. And I really want to paint a picture here about Chillicothe, Ohio, what this city, what this town is going through. I really want to give you guys an idea of what people like me are dealing with on a daily basis. And the Mary Worthington Macomb House, that is a distant example and maybe a symbol of what people do around here that's neglectful and ignorant, for lack of a better term. Something that could be done, and yet it's not done. Let me put it that way. And also nepotism. Chillicothe also suffers from nepotism, and my family got hit by this firsthand, dating back to the 1990s. Um, my dad, I'm not going to name his name, but my dad, he was a hard worker back in the day. He worked at Kenworth, that local Kenworth place in Chillicothe in the 1990s. He worked there for about 6 months. He was trying so hard to get a job there, uh, working on the trucks there. And it looked like he was going to get the job. He even said so at one point to my mother. But he ended up not getting the job. He did not get the job. And why was that? Because of nepotism. One of the boss's sons there at Kenworth got the job over him, even though that same person did not put in the work necessary to get that job. That is exactly what you call nepotism. So Chillicothe suffers from that too. And I really want to tie this all in for you guys to really get the point of what I'm trying to say here about Chillicothe is that we not only have a defeatist mentality going on around here, but we have a community that's being pretty much governed by fear. The fear of the unknown, fear of failing, the fear of wanting to do something different that's actually helpful. Sticking to what you know because you think, keyword think, that works. Um, Chillicothe is governed by fear. It's governed by a fake foundation and fake promises. And I just want that to be known to people. That is how I feel about this town. And speaking of fear, I'm a true believing Christian, and I follow my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ first and foremost and always. And it is said in the Bible, fear not. And you'll find that term, fear not, 365 times in the Bible, to be exact. And that's my message to people in and around Chillicothe, Ohio right now. Guys, fear not. You are told in the Bible to fear not. So what are you doing being governed by fear? That's my question to you. And I also just want to finish with a Bible verse, since we're on that. I want to take you guys to the Gospel of Mark, chapter 3, verses 24 and 25 in particular. And I'll post it again here at the end of this video. For if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25. Or if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot continue. Now, let those words sink in. Take in the true meaning of those words, guys. When you go to Chillicothe, Ohio, and you search through the streets and you see these homeless people, you see these disabled people, you see these empty buildings, you see the foundation, or lack thereof, for what it is, you really have to start asking yourself these hard questions. Where's the foundation? Where's the culture? Where's the identity? For real, where is it? Where's the true leadership here? And where's the help people are going to get? Not just with healthcare, but with many other things. The people in Chillicothe need to start helping themselves, and they need to stop looking towards certain higher ups, supposed leaders, to do the work for them. Fear not. You're watching STV Castle. Thank you.